He's one of the top NBA analysts on FS1, Chris Broussard, on the CJ Silas show. There's a ton in the news, not just surrounding the NBA playoffs. We've already got our Western Conference winners, but also coaching Cleveland and the Lakers. But let's get this out of the way. You and Kevin Durant are battling it a little bit on Twitter. And the thing about you is that, A, you always tell the truth. B, you are a stand-up person that is true to his word. You always take responsibility for your mistakes. You admit when you're wrong. So when I saw this story, I thought, well, of course it's Broussard. He's the guy. He is telling me the truth. And this kind of thing, it's sometimes we might say that it's good for radio and good for our lives, but it's got to be a little frustrating and annoying when things like this happen.
Yeah, I mean, and it's kind of like I said on the TV today on Undisputed when I talked about my relationship with Kevin Durant. It's love-hate. You know,
yes.
We've had these issues generally in private. So that's bothersome that somebody that I do like and somebody that I'm pulling for as an individual, you know, as a person, and somebody I've talked with some, you know, deeper things than just basketball about. It's just disappointing that it's gotten to this. You know, I kind of laugh at the term Twitter battle or Twitter war, which everybody is throwing out because I don't really see it that way. It's been, 2 tweets each or something like that.
Yeah.
But, and I think if you notice from Kevin, there are no denials. You know what I mean? He didn't deny we've had these conversations. Now, he's taken everything literally. Like when I said worst nightmare, he took it literally. Of course, any types of deaths in the family, things that happen off the court, obviously could be way worse. And even on the court, if you get a career-ending injury, of course, but it's a figure of speech that I was making a point, and everybody can understand that. And then as far as the texting, yeah, I mean, KD, these are conversations. We've both initiated conversations. A lot of times I'll try to initiate a conversation with him and he won't get back to me. But then he'll initiate conversations, and those are when we have had gone over 5 hours talking. And he'll initiate them on Instagram or Twitter. He'll hit me in the DM, and we just keep going from there. It's not a phone call or phone texting, but to me, I don't really know the difference, you know. Now, and for the record, you know, I've had his phone number. Now it's probably old. You know, these players change their numbers all the time. But I have a phone number for me in my phone from years ago that I'm sure has been changed. But you know, he's not denying anything because he can't. And I'm not gonna send out people. Send out the screenshots. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't violate his privacy or anybody else's that I talk with like that. But it's just disappointing that he's trying to go there.
It's kind of juvenile anyway. So let's get to something else because the Eastern Conference Finals have turned into something exciting. Just a few days ago, people thought, Toronto's out of it. And just after the win last night, it's the second time, only the second time the Bucks have lost 2 games in a row. How does the Raptors winning these 2 shift this series now heading back to Milwaukee?
Well, this is really, obviously, it's the first bit of adversity that Milwaukee has faced in these playoffs. And being such a young group, being a group that had never won a playoff series together before this season, this is going to be a big test for them. A lot of people who would look at it historically would say that Milwaukee's not going to overcome this because the history of the NBA has been that to win a championship, you always must go through adversity. Whether we think of, you know, the Detroit Pistons kept getting beat by Boston in the 80s until they overcame. The Bulls, the Jordan Bulls kept getting beaten by Detroit until they overcame. Kobe and Shaq individually and together had their challenges and struggles and failures before they overcame and won championships. LeBron James individually had his tests like that. Milwaukee, if they were to get to the finals and win it, it would be almost unprecedented for a team to not go through any adversity for the most part and win it. So this is their little taste of adversity. I actually before the regular season and then again before the playoffs, I picked Toronto to win the East precisely because I questioned how Milwaukee, with their lack of experience, would handle the big stage. And I thought they need to gain more experience before they could win the East. But then going into this series, I did pick Milwaukee. I thought they had played so well. Toronto didn't impress me as much. So I'm still sticking with the Bucks to win, but it's good for them that they're going to have to face some adversity. So we're really going to see what they're made of in these next 3 games if it goes that far.